Welcome to the Boxing Bookie. We are back. It's good to be back. We're going to get into the best bets of the week. And I got a special guest, someone you guys should be familiar with, Vulcan, who is always in the chat. He's going to get into the UFC bets. So I'm going to start off with the boxing bets, and he's going to give me the best UFC bets of the week. And then we're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna come up with a parlay combining the two to get the absolute best bets. So Volk, you want to introduce yourself first before we get into the boxing stuff?
Yeah, sure. Hello, guys. I'm Volkan. I'm from the Netherlands, but I'm originally Turkish, and I'm 25 years old. And I watch fighting since I'm young, actually, since I can remember. Like I was 8 years old or something. I was watching K1 kickboxing and boxing, and later I started watching UFC, and I like it a lot. And I started training it also a couple years ago. And yeah, that's it.
All right. I appreciate you, Volk. I'm gonna bring you back in just a couple minutes. So hang tight. I'm gonna bring you right back. Okay. I'm gonna get into the boxing odds and a parlay that I really like because this week is kind of tough. There's not a lot of great odds. But there are some bets I think we can make some money on, and I want to just go over that with you guys real quick. The parlay is going to bring you down about 225. If you guys are in my Patreon, you got this, but I want to show this to you now. Jaleel Hackett, master technician, super fast, aggressive, come forward fighter, real good combination puncher, real good athlete, twitchy, quick reflexes, good fighter, good prospect taking on Peter Dobson. Dobson we saw against Connor Quinn. And Dobson is a professional. He's just not at the level of Hackett. Dobson, he's sort of slow. He's not a high volume guy. He's not a big puncher, but he's pretty technically sound. Works behind a high guard. Fires off the jab. He should go the distance. I just don't think he has much of a chance of winning. So I like uh, Jaleel Hackett. Let's pull up the odds. Now, Hackett is minus 1,000. So it's not great odds. But that's one leg of the parlay. The second leg of the parlay, Charlie Sheehy. Charlie Sheehy is a touted prospect. This is supposed to be a step up fight. I don't, I don't really see it that way. I think this is sort of a mismatch. So this is going to be minus 900, and we can look at that real quick. She's 9-0, 5 knockouts. He hasn't fought great competition yet. He's fought Jesus Vasquez Jr. and Abdul Soseda in his last two fights. Ricardo Quiros is not much different than that, and he hasn't lost a round, so I expect him to be pretty dominant in this fight. Ricardo Quiros is a fighter from Oxnard, California. He fought Giovanni Cabrera back at the Techport Center. He's fought Delonte Johnson. He's lost wide to both guys. He also fought Rohan Polanco back in 2023. Lost every round of that fight. So we kind of see what kind of fighter he is. He's not a terrible fighter. I think he's just outmatched, outgunned. And that's minus 900. Again, not great odds, but we're just going to parlay it together. So we've got minus 1,000, minus 900 in Sheehy. And then the third leg of this parlay is Booch Ennis. Booch Ennis is a fight I like a lot. The odds kept getting worse on this and worse on this and worse on this. I hope it hasn't changed since I last checked it. And I'm still at minus 900, minus 650 yesterday. But Booch Ennis by stoppage, I think is as close to a sure thing as we can get. Again, there's not a ton to bet on this week. This is not a loaded week. We can add other things to this, but I want this to be the core of it. Booch Ennis at minus 900. Booch Ennis is by Avanesian. Avanesian, a former world title challenger. He's challenging for a world title again. He's come up short. He's got a win over Boy Kelly, which is kind of his one shining moment. It's the best win of his career. Booch Ennis is 27. He's physically peaking. He's hitting his prime. He's strong as hell. He's fast. He's lightning explosive. He's been stopping everyone outside of Shukenjan. They fighter back in 2023. He stopped Roman Villa in 10 rounds. He stopped, and then before that, he was stopping Clayton, Custio Clayton, Thomas Delorme, Sergey Lipinets. He was about to stop Christopher, and here before that ended in a headbutt. Juan Carlos. He's been stopping everyone, is my point. So I think Avanesian, who is a little long in the tooth, he's a little aged. He's been stopped now twice, most recently by Terrence Crawford, who stopped him with basically one shot, and he's been stopped by the Mean Machine Kavalauskas. So when he stepped up, he's been stopped. I don't think this will be different. Again, the odds on this are all the way up to minus 900. Minus 900. So when I pull up my parlay calculator, which I'm going to pull up real quick, I want to do the math for y'all on this. Let me put my parlays in here, and I will show you the math. All right, give me 1 second. Oh, there was one more leg. There was one more leg I wanted to add to that, and that was Janibek. Janibek's in a complete mismatch with. Let me pull it up for you. I'll show you the odds on that as well. Let me pull that up for you. There was 4 legs on the parlay. I apologize. I knew that was gonna not be great. I knew my math was off. Here it is. Janibek is at minus 1,600. You could take him by the stoppage. I'm not convinced on that. Mikhailovich is a rugged guy. I do think he will get stopped. I just don't think minus 550 is worth the risk. So I would leave it at Janibek at minus 1,600. So when we add that, that's going to bring our odds down to 201. Oh, no, it's not. 226. Hang on. So we look at the bet. We look at Sheehy. We look at boots by stoppage, Hackett on the money line, and also a money line bet for Janibek. And we have minus 226. Not the best odds in the world, but it's super safe. We're going to hit on it. And if you guys want to roll the dice a little more, you want to gamble a little more, you want a little better odds, that's why we're bringing in Vulcan. Vulcan is telling me the odds. It's way better betting on the UFC than it is on boxing. And my boy Vulcan is going to show us how to do that right now. So if you're not in love with the odds on this, which I get, it's not a great week for boxing odds. I'm gonna bring Vulcan in right now, and he's going to show us how to really get rich this weekend. Vulcan, we were talking the other day, and you were telling me way better betting on the UFC, and you had positive bets that you thought were pretty close to lock. So I want to let you get into that and tell everyone where they're making money on UFC this week.
Yeah, brother. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope I can help everyone out by making us some money. Well, let me say this: this is not the best weekend to bet on UFC actually, but there are opportunities to make money. But why I say it's not the best week, because I couldn't really find any guaranteed 100% lock type of thing, but I got something close to it, very close to it. I think that one hits too.
I got the odds here. So if
All right.
look at it. Yeah.
So do you want me to break down every fight or only the fights where I see value of?
Well, go to the ones that you have, that you think are valuable, that you think are kind of like the couple of the best bets that you would make.
Yeah.
Like if someone,
All right, sure. Then what I also recommend if you're betting UFC is to bet singles, or if you make a parlay, to do a 2-leg parlay at most, maybe 3-leg, but to keep it as safe as possible is best, because the odds are usually close, and they have a good matchmaking team. They are trying to match fights close and stuff like that. So doing singles is the way, and I will give you some good value plays actually. So I think if you sprinkle like $50 each, I think you will end up profitable, or if even $5 each, whatever your balance is, whatever you can bet or want to bet.
Yeah, whatever your budget
But
is, but yeah,
yeah,
the odds and the return, the percentages are going to be the same. So,
sure.
go ahead.
So the first value I like is the second fight. It's Josh Fremd against Andre Petrovsky. I like Andre Petrovsky. I think he's better everywhere. The only slight concern is that his gas tank is holding up after the second round. So if you would like to bet him, you could also bet him by finishing first or second round. But I think he will win the first two rounds easily, and he could even win by decision because it's a 3 round fight. And if
So
he
you
wins,
like the under too, right? So you like if you wanted to bet, you would take him on the under two and a
I
half
would
rounds.
like, yeah, I would like the under as well, but he could also do it on by decision. What I think is, I think he wins by submission in the first or second round, but
Okay.
it could also go late. Going by money line is definitely the safer play. But if you are live betting and if you see that like he's gassing after the first round and he's losing the second round, you could even live bet just Frem. But I think Petrovsky is a value bet. I think he wins at like 70%. It's not a lock, but it's even money. Like you get him at minus 110. So I think
Yeah,
that's a little value play.
they got him at minus 108 on DraftKings. So if you're saying he's got a 70% chance of winning, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good bet.
Yeah, so but I don't recommend betting everything on it because, as I said, it's just I think it's 70%, and really depending on how he does the first two rounds, he could finish him in the first two rounds. But if he wins the first two rounds, I don't really see him getting finished in the third round, so he will squeeze out a decision then. So I think he wins at like 70%. The second fight I think there is value on is Montel Jackson against Damon Blackshear.
Let me find it.
Yeah, I'm reading
Okay.
it.
Here we go.
Thoughts on betting Van, Rodriguez, Santos, and Silva. I will also like Rodriguez. I will come to and Silva. I will come to, but Van and Santos. I think they will win, but I'm not very confident. I
Okay.
think they both win at like also at like 70%, but their odds are like minus 300.
Yeah. So
So it's not really value. Let's say that. But the
so you
next
like
fight, I think.
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Montel Jackson and Blackshear.
Okay, the next fight I think there is a little value on is the Montel Jackson against Damon Blackshear fight. Montel Jackson has a longer reach. He's probably the better striker, but Damon Blackshear is the better wrestler and the better grappler, and I think he will take the fight to the ground and he will either submit him or control him there. I think there is value on the Damon Blackshear side. I think he wins at like 60% maybe, but he's plus money, so it's a value bet. It's not a guaranteed bet, but it's a value bet, I think.
Yeah, he's paying plus 124. So if you favor him, that's a really good bet right there. So we got
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm favoring him, but I'm not confident. I'm favoring him. I think there's value. I will bet him, but not that much. Just a small bet on it.
Okay.
The next fight that I think there's value on is I like this one. I will bet this one, so I will also say it in here. Cody Brundage against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Abdul Razak Al Hassan has all of his wins by knockout, and his money line is sitting at, let me see, his money
By the
line
way,
is sitting at minus 155 around that, and his knockout prop is sitting at minus 120 or minus 125. So I think there is also value on that one. Abdurazak Al Hassan by knockout. I think he has definitely more power. He has knockout power. I think he can knock him out. And if he connects, he just goes out. This is a typical striker versus grappler type of matchup. And if he can keep it standing for a few minutes, I think he can get the knockout. First round knockout is also possible. First or second round knockout, something like that. I think there's value on the Abdurazak Al Hassan by knockout. And I think it happens at like maybe 70%,
okay.
65%, something like this. And so a little value play there. And the next fight, is actually my lock of this week. It's Christian Rodriguez against Julian Erosa. Julian Erosa is going 29-11, so he's kind of a veteran, and Christian Rodriguez is going 11-1. He's younger, he's hungrier, and Julian Erosa lost two of his last three fights, and they weren't against the greatest guys. So I think Christian Rodriguez is the more complete fighter. He should be better everywhere. He should be hungrier, and he should have a better fight IQ. So I think he wins. I'm pretty confident in this one. I think he wins at like 90%, maybe a little higher, but I think he wins around 90%. And it's minus 210 for that one.
Okay. Um, you had a question, but it was Rodriguez. Okay. So World of
Yeah.
Wrestling wants to know, Vulcan, your thoughts on betting on Van, Rodriguez, Santos, and Silver. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
as I said when I answered it a moment ago, Van and Santos, I like them. I think they will win, but I'm not very confident in it. I think they win at like 60, 70%. Yeah, probably 70%. And the value is not that great. That's why I didn't mention it. Like they are both around minus 250, minus 300. So I didn't really see much value there.
So yeah,
But they should win.
you're right. The odds are much better in UFC than they are in
Yeah.
boxing. Like these are all like the highest odds are like minus 340 and plus 270. I mean everything else is
Yeah, you
close.
rarely see a minus 1,000. You rarely see a minus 1,000 here.
So the matchmaking is much more competitive, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
So all right. So here's what I want to. I want to put together. I want to mix a parlay, and
All
I
right.
want to come up with a possible, the best possible parlay. So if I said to you, what do you feel absolutely is a great lock? I know you mentioned Rodriguez.
Yeah.
DraftKings has him at minus 230. Is there anything else that you think is that's a great value? That's a great lock.
Well, so the money line sides, like Santos could be one or Van could be one. But as I said, I value them, like I give their chances around 70%,
Okay.
maybe a little higher. Maybe I'm not so buying into it because of the odds, but they also have tough matchups, you know. They also have tough matchups. Let me see. I like the overs in some girls' fights. Yeah, they are pretty durable and they wrestle a lot and stuff like that. They're not the best grapplers. So the overs in some girls' fights, we could maybe add that one.
So we got like this one right here, Gabriel Bonfrom and Ange Lusa. Is that something that you like the over on that?
Yeah, I think Gabriel Bonfim will win. Yeah, actually, I think Gabriel Bonfim will win. Maybe at like 80%, but not much
Okay.
value, you know, minus 400.
I got minus 340 here on DraftKings, a little bit better on DraftKings.
Yeah,
So give me. So I'm gonna put I'm putting the parlay together here. I'm gonna put um was it Rodriguez in. I have Rodriguez at minus 230 on DraftKings.
yeah.
So we're gonna put that. Give me one other lock. Give me your next bet. If you were giving gambling advice, what would be besides Rodriguez? What would be the next
Mm,
best bet in your opinion?
let me see. I'm really thinking one of the two girls' fights to go over. Let me see. Let me see. Let me check it out quickly. Yeah, probably Jasmine Jasudavicius against Fatima Klein, the fight to go the distance, or if you would want to do it safer, you could take over 1.5 rounds. I
Wh-
think they
wh-
offer that. They don't offer over 1.5 rounds in every
Which
book, but
which fight is this? I'm not seeing this.
the Fatima Klein one as against Jasmine.
Oh, here we go.
There,
Here we go.
yeah.
Okay, I got you. And you like the over, you said?
Yeah, I like the over actually. I like the over.
All right, that's minus 375. So you've given us some help here. Uh, I would add to that two things. I would add on the boxing side, and these odds aren't as well, but it's going to bring you to positive money. Boots Enos by stoppage, I would absolutely add at minus 900. Now I
Hmm.
would add Dobbs, not not Dobbs, Hackett at minus 1,000. All
Yeah,
right, so those four bets, the over, Rodriguez on the money line, the prop bet on Butch Ennis to win by stoppage, and Hackett on the money line. That's going to
yeah.
bring us to plus 122. So that's four bets, which should all be safe. It's going to bring you to positive money. So that would be our lock. All right? How do you feel about those two fights? Boots Ennis and Jaleel Hackett. Hackett winning and Boots by stoppage. How do you feel about that? Do you feel good about this four leg parlay?
I feel pretty good about it actually. Yeah, I think maybe Yanni Beck is also a good option instead of Hackett. I think
You want me to,
Boots
you want to,
does.
it's going to bring the odds down a little bit. We're still positive.
Yeah,
If I change it to Hackett, I mean, if I change it to Janabek, it's going to bring my odds from plus 122 to plus 115. You want to do that? You're right. That's not much of a change. You feel better with
yeah,
that with Janabek? I feel better with that too.
yeah. I think that one is safer because the other guy is not really tested. The Jalil
Yeah.
Hackett guy. You know?
So I like this, and it's still going to bring us. We're still in positive money, so it's a four leg parlay. It's super safe. You got to hit
Yeah,
on all four, but this should not be a problem with Rodriguez. The over in the women's fight, Boots Ennis by stoppage, and um and Janabek on the money line.
yeah,
It looks safe, and
yeah.
it's paying. Yeah,
Looks
it's
looks
paying
pretty
plus
safe to
one
me too.
fifteen.
Looks pretty safe to me too. If I had to choose one, definitely I would go to for Christian Rodriguez. But I think both can hit. Actually, I think both can hit. Both have equal chance to hit, like around 90% maybe. Not not guaranteed locks, but they should hit. You know, they should hit. I will
Yeah,
bet on it too.
nothing is guaranteed. I would put Janet Beckett winning at about 95%, and I would put
Yeah,
Boots getting the stoppage at least 90% too. So
yeah,
I think we're safe here. I think this is safe. It's positive money. $100 bet makes you $115 on this parlay.
yeah.
I think we did pretty
Sounds
good
good.
here, Vol. Yeah, well, what do you think, Vulcan? You think we're good here?
Yeah, I think we are good here. Sounds good. I only forgot to mention one guy, Silva. I also wanted to say that's also a value bet to me. I bet him, Jean Silva against Drew Dober. He's hungrier. He fought 2 weeks ago, actually. This is a short notice fight, but it's short notice for both of them. Um, yeah, I think he's coming in to get the kill. He's probably getting the knockout, otherwise it's a decision. But
So you like
I
him
think
on?
it
You like
doesn't.
Silva on the money line?
12 on the money line also, yeah. I think he wins at like 70 or 75%, and it's close money.
Yeah, it's minus 118.
Yeah,
So that's pretty good money. So we got
yeah. I
John
bet him
Silver.
already.
Oh well. All right. I think we got a nice little parlay here.
Yeah,
Um,
I will bet it. I will bet it.
you want to join me again next week? You want to do this again next week?
Yeah, sounds good. It was fun, short but strong, you know. We
Yeah,
did it.
I like the way this turned out here though, for sure. I think we
Yeah,
have a nice four leg parlay. You guys have any
yeah,
last minute
hopefully.
questions, comments, concerns, super chats? Uh, put it in the chat now. Otherwise, me and Vulcan are gonna get going, and we'll see you again next week. Any last minute thoughts? Any social media that you want to plug? Where can they find you, Vulcan?
Yeah, if you guys want to follow, you can follow me on official Volcan. Um, right now, I'm not posting too much on it, but I will take like the fighting and stuff a little bit more serious, and I would like to become a like fighter too, or fight at least, you know, as an amateur and hopefully as a pro. Let's see.
Sounds good, my man. It was a
I
pleasure
will,
having you on, and I look forward to doing this again next week, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah. Take care.
All right. God bless. Thank you, Vulcan.
Have a good evening. You too. Bye bye.
You too.